Hello, all you hardcores out there. How are you doing? It's Russ here from Porky's Corner, the biggest gob in sport. We say the things on here that nobody dares say. We're just waiting for Andy, who's not from Aberdeen, to log on. How you doing, Andy? You all right, lad?
How you doing, Ross? All right?
I'm all right. We had a good Christmas.
No bad, pal. No bad. Can't complain.
Good man, good man. A lot to get through, so should we just plough straight in?
Yeah, pile
Right,
on.
first thing I want to get out of the way, before I flip my fucking lid here, right? Why is everybody's get out nowadays in and around the boxing industry? You know, managers, promoters, fighters, ex-fighters with YouTube channels, media guys, camera jockeys, YouTube arse lickers, whatever. Why is it everybody's get out now is, well, I've got home and I've watched it back and they're all changing the narratives, aren't they, what they said on the night? You see where I'm coming
Backpedaling.
from? Hey?
Backpedaling.
Backpedaling. Oh my God, because they realise, oh, I don't want to be left out of the circle. I've seen that many people backtracking now. It's absolutely embarrassing and it all seems to be forgotten about. Nobody seems to be pulling up these human monitor lizards on their behaviour, and it's shocking, isn't it? Absolutely. Absolutely
Pers
shocking, mate.
Personally, when I watched it first, I thought Usyk had won it, but I did think, but this is what, bearing in mind I'm watching it with uh, what do you call it, the biased commentary, and I've got people around about me, so that always disrupts your view, I think. Um, I think it was Richie Woodall. I don't mind him as a person, but his commentary is a bit biased in my eyes. So I thought Usyk had won it, but I thought the scorecards, I thought maybe they're a wee bit wide, maybe just by maybe a round or
No,
that.
no, no, no. I'm not having that, mate. Andy.
No, but then the
Oh,
next day,
Andy did. Whoa, whoa. Let me just stop you there, mate. I don't know what you've been drinking, but you know, if you look on CompuBox, he
uh-huh,
outlanded Fury in 11 of the 12 rounds.
that's right.
Right?
I've
So
seen
if
that.
we
Yeah,
want to go to CompuBox like they were trying to do 30 odd year ago, but they didn't, they bottled it.
yeah,
If we'd have stuck to that regime, Fury would have won a round. If it had been an amateur scoring system, he would have had a 12 round amateur fight and won one round. So, where is
yeah.
this narrative that Fury won by 3 and 4 rounds? What planet are they
Oh,
on and what have they been smoking?
that's bonkers. That kind of people saying that kind of thing. But when I scored it back myself with no volume on, watched it myself, I had it wider than the judges. I had it 117, 111.
There you go, mate. There you go. And I've watched it back and I've got the same score as you, but I'm happy with 116, 112. I thought Fury got off
Yeah,
light there, but they can always push the narrative and blah de blah, use the people in the media and get people to whip up a storm to create this we've been robbed thing. And you're gonna have people in his hometown of Morecambe, which I've heard back, people going up to him and saying, "Ah, you were robbed, you were robbed." Well, nobody's gonna say any different when you stood next to him in a pub. Are there people patting him on back? And that's the problem that we've got. Arse lickers and people gaslighting and geeing him up. Get over the fact that you were not good enough.
tell them the truth. What's the point of bullshitting? Just tell them the truth.
Right. Let's go
It's
through
no
these.
way.
Let's go through these bullet points and give
Yeah,
me an answer to the couple of minute answers on each one. Right. So was Fury robbed? Yes or no?
no.
No. Right. So we agree on that one, don't we? I mean,
Yeah,
Johnny Horsecock, right, had Fury to win. Right, he changed his mind fight week. So as soon as he said that, you know he weren't going to win, didn't you? Horsecock's going to do that when he's in Fury's company because he likes to put his tongue where he shouldn't do. Do you know where I'm coming from?
yeah.
Well, it's right, isn't it? When you bump into him in fight week, like, oh, do you know what? I'm getting vibes that you're going to win. Do you know what he does? You know what it reminds me of? You know when you get them people that come to working men's club and they walk around the working men's club in the microwave with the microwave with the microphone and they go, "I'm hearing the word anti." Do you know what I mean? And then somebody will say something and then they'll take you down another avenue. It's a bit like that. That one where that guy's walking around and he stands next to the guy with white socks on and Bucky in his top pouch and Brilla creamed hair back, and he goes, I'm in. Starts laughing. It's a bit like an old comedian that I used to know, and I used to help her with material. And every time, what happens is with a comedian is, if you lose your train of thought, it comes back to you. You're looking for something to feed on. Like this 20-stone fat woman got up at middle of the club one night while I was sat there, and she walked by a tug-up bar, and straight away she said, "Sit down, love, you to pick club up." And then your train of thought comes back. Well, that's
Yeah.
like this shower of shit, isn't it? Really, what we're having to deal with here and listen to day in, day out. General human centipedes, monitor lizards, the lot. It's starting to do my nutting. And I tell you what, I've got some scripts ready for the next 2 weeks. There's going to be a lot of people on the knees and a lot of people they're not going to see again. Right.
I was surprised that the Gad had him winning, even though it was only by a round.
He had to do, didn't he? How could he not? Look, end of the day, he knows he's boxing, but he had to do. He couldn't say any other. Go and look at the statistics. He was bashed up. He was touched up all night. He couldn't sustain attacks. We'll get to that in a minute because, I've had a good think about this and I've knocked this up in about an hour, so it's not took me long. Right. Billy Nelson, a.k.a. Little Billy from up your neck of the woods, right? I like Little Billy. I've met him before at Peter Fuhr's gym. He's all right. He's all for his fighters. He goes into bat for them. Well done. Right.
Good guy.
And he can't stand that Sims gym. So that's obviously what happened with Ricky Burns. But he's starting to annoy me. Little Billy, you're starting to get on my tits now with this Martin Bacola this, Martin Bacola that. Martin Bacola, right, he's about as exciting as a wet echo, right? He's not engaging. Big stiff, right? Big 20 stoner. He's not going to get near Usyk. So, Little Billy, stop it trying to get your man out there for a payday. He's just annoying me, him constantly going on about Bacola. Didn't Michael Hunter, a cruiserweight, flog him? So why have we got this narrative that all of a sudden Martin Bacola is the saviour of the heavyweight division? The only man who can beat Usyk. Little Billy, do me a favour and crawl back under that Scotch egg that you've been hiding under. Yeah, come on. What is this? Is he a promoter or a trainer? I'm seeing more of Billy Nelson on YouTube than I am Bacola. I don't want to see trainers. I don't want to see trainers every 2 minutes in interviews. Do we see McCracken in interviews every 2 minutes? No, we don't.
I think he's Bacola's manager as well as his trainer. Right?
Right, listen to me, Andy. Right, well, whatever. Listen to me. Do we see? Wait, I'll rephrase it. Who's best fighter in the world at the moment?
Usyk.
You have to say Usyk because he's big. The other guys, your Crawfords and No-Use and all that, and Tank Davis, they're coming up through weight divisions, fair enough, but they're only creeping up a few pounds each one, aren't they? Usyk's beating men that are 3 and 4 stone heavier than him. So, as far as I'm concerned, he's the best fighter in the world. He's undisputed in 2 weight divisions. I know Crawford's done it in, 2, or he's won titles in 3, but they're only going up to half a stone at a time or 3, 4 pounds. This guy is fighting giants, isn't he? Men 4, 5, 6 inches taller, 3, 4 stone heavy, right? Do we see Usyk's trainer hanging out the back of IFL, Stomping Ground, and all these other arse-licking channels every 2 minutes? We don't, do we? Do we see Crawford's trainer hanging out at the back of people? We don't. Do we see Anoyu's trainer? No. BTB's trainer? No. Tank Davis's trainer? Do we see them on social media doing interviews day after day after day? No, we don't do it. His trainers wanted to get in the mix to get paydays, isn't it?
I think the difference is there, though, the guys you're mentioning, they're already reached the top of the mountain there.
There you go. But even when they were reaching there, we didn't see the trainers hanging out back of these YouTubers, did we?
No.
You know what I mean? It's starting to annoy me. I don't want to see Billy Nelson on my timeline every time I turn YouTube on. Billy, you're a trainer. Concentrate on training your fighters. He's already been flogged by Hunter, a small man. Right, that's that hard way. Right. I'm hearing Fury's appealed. That's what they're saying. Yeah. I know, yeah, you couldn't make it up. They just have to keep the narrative going. What do you think to that? Think he'll get anywhere with it?
No.
I don't. George Groves
Wasting
won't
his
get
time.
anywhere with it against Froch with his appeal, did it? It cost him 20 bags.
Nothing ever happens with these appeals. Eh?
No, okay.
Not that
Ben
I'm aware
David,
of. Anyway.
eh?
Not that I'm aware of. None of these appeals are ever successful, are they?
Yeah. Ben Davidson, boxer size Ben, Brilla Cream boy. He's saying he thought Fury won. What else could he say? Yet another one. This is supposed to be, right, the best up and coming trainer. When you've got the supposed to be the best up and coming trainer in the UK or the go-to guy, when he's coming out with stuff like that because he wants to stay in the mix and not upset everybody, other people see it and they start believing it, don't they? Ben Davison knows his boxing. If he were Usyk's trainer, he won't be having any of that. Go and look at the statistics, Ben Davidson, you arse licker. See where I'm coming from? You see why I get revved up here, mate? I'm ready to go to town on anybody tonight now, mate. If I ain't like town tonight, Andy, God help anybody who gets in with me, I'll be windmilling like a bitch. Uh,
But
Sam Jones, he's come out. He said he thought Dave Allen won by a round. Well, you had to do, Sam, didn't you? Because there's that much pressure on that now, isn't there? And that's Johnny Fisher's manager. So will he be Johnny Fisher's manager next month?
I saw Eddie Hill's thinking Dave Hill, Dave Hill, Dave Hill's the guy, guitarist in Slade, isn't he? Dave Allen had won.
Well, he had to
Eddie Hill
say
said,
that, didn't he? Because he knows
"Yep,
what's gone on, doesn't he? Really? Of course, Dave Allen won. He flogged him. They've robbed him, but because Dave Allen, I'm not saying he's a simpleton, but he's trying to play the game and he don't want to rock the boat. Really, Dave Allen should be coming out spitting feathers, shouldn't he? Really?
nah, should be raging."
He should be raging, man, instead of trying to play the game and be everybody's pal. It's me pal. It's me pal. He's a pal of mine. Well, they're not my pals.
Is he now saying he doesn't want the rematch or something?
Of course he does. He's just trying to get a few quid out. Man, he'd walk on broken glass to get that rematch, Rhino. Don't believe that, mate. They're all trying to play the game, aren't they? Well, he tried to play. Listen, Rhino tried to play the game with Bricktop, didn't he, with that Dubois offer? And look what happened. So maybe just be a little bit more humble and take what's offered next time. Because you're a long time out at game, aren't you? He's been missing years since that fight, hasn't he? He never got over that. Still not got over it. Tony Jeffries says Usyk were just too good for Fury in every department. You know, Phil Jeffries' lad, Tony Jeffries. And I believe I'm a subscriber to Tony Jeffries' channel. I think he's a straight shooter, and I believe that, mate. I believe Usyk were just too good in every department, but that don't mean to say that Fury can't match him. A few years ago, Fury might have been able to match him, but when you're putting on 3 stone from when you were the original champion beating Vladimir, so you're 3 stone heavier than 10 years ago, so your legs are not going to be the same. You're 10 years older. You're not sustaining your fitness. At least Usyk sustained his fitness, hasn't he?
See if Fury hadn't kicked the can down the road for 2 years, he might have given himself a better chance 2 years ago instead of, or maybe more than that, was it?
Yeah, about 5 years ago. More.
I'm not saying he would have won, but he might have had a better chance.
Look, my argument is this, right? Fury got beat in every department. He couldn't get near that guy. He couldn't sustain his attack. And once Usyk got him by round 6, he drowned him, mate. He took him out to sea and drowned him, mate. That's what he did. That's what he did.
What else?
Eh?
Tell you what else. Fury 4 stone heavier, couldn't push him about.
He could
Listen, how strong is Usyk?
I know somebody that sparred Fury, right? And I said, what do you think to him? And he says, he's hollow. He's not strong. He's never been strong strength-wise. He's just got that reach. When you've got that reach and you've got that height, and to be fair to him, he does get knocked down a lot, but he's got heart, hasn't he? So he's got a lot of things going for him, and he's used his attributes. But as far as I'm concerned, mate, he got whooped. And after all that big chat that we've had to put up with for months, do you know what I mean? About what he's going to do. He's going to do this and going to do that. He's going to do wonders. All he's done is sit on cucumbers. That's the bottom line, isn't it, basically?
Yeah.
But nobody wants to talk about that, do they? Do you know what I mean?
Well,
So
I think Usyk is super strong for his size. Though he's a strong guy, isn't he? His core strength and all he must be
yeah, yeah.
immense.
Well, listen. When you're swimming 5 mile a day, right?
5 hours.
Oh,
5 hours.
sorry. When you're swimming for 5 hours for your endurance, he got his second wind and he got a third wind. Do you know what I mean? These not these people, right? They're fetched up with it, aren't they? Right? Have you seen his training regime?
Oh, aye.
I don't even go out like Fury and party. So, look, it is what it is. We know what we saw, don't we? But it's just that when you get these bad losers and you get somebody like Bricktop who's steeped in the game nearly 50 years, and Bob Arum, look, they're going to go into bat for their guys, but they know who won, and we know who won. Get over it. Get over it. But all these little cronies that are going into bat for them with these YouTube channels. That's the problem. Even the mainstream media, like TalkSport and the BBC and that, are not, and your Jeff Powell's and all that, they're not going with a Fury win because they know their fucking jobs are on the line. But yet you get these lickers that've got a bit of pull with the views. They're frightened to death because they're thinking, I'm going to, my bubble's going to get burst here if I don't say this. Do you know what I mean? Look, everybody wants to get to Saudi, don't they? People have been critical about it, but once you get an invite out there, you go out there with your tongue up people's arse, don't you? And people lose all the inhibitions when they get out there, don't they? Well, that's what I think. Looking at it from
Mhm.
outside, because I know what people have said about that place out there. Next thing, they're out there, they're arse licking. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing because they're wanting access. Keep it real. He got flogged. Get over it. Right, has Tyson gone from being a hero, beating Vladimir, to a bad guy? With his comments after that, after the comments after the Vladimir fight, what he said about paedophilia and all that other stuff he was coming out with. Then
Mhm.
he's gone missing. Then he's come out with his mental health fantasy island stories, didn't he, to cover up for whatever was going on with these drug tests and all that. Everybody bought into all that, and his stories about I was driving a Ferrari at 150 mile an hour. I'm going to drive into a wall. By the time the story come out, it was 200 mile an hour, gone from
Mm.
27. He never went above 27 stone, and now I mean it was 30 stone. All these fantasy island stories and lies has gone from that to being the hero to now to being a bad guy again. Is that his own undoing, or is it just they can't lie straight in bed? What do you think, Andy?
Yeah, it's his own. I think. I mean, all the comments that just turns people away. If you've got young folk, kids and teenagers looking up to a heavyweight champion in the world, you don't want to see them effing and seeing and whatnot and shouting at Usyk, who's always very distinguished and respectful, and he's just mouthing off like it's just gutter language, really. There's no need for it. And I mean, I'm not a prude in any way, shape, or form, but there's a time and a place for industrial language, and it's not on the world stage when you're fighting for the biggest prize in sport, is it? And
Yeah.
I think turn people away from him with that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Well, Bricktop says that they might be suing Oliver Brown from Independent because he's done a story about Fury and he's saying that he's a thug and this and
Mm.
that. And Bricktop saying he should sue him and all that. Well, Oliver Brown, if you're listening, I don't care if you are anyway. But so how I look at it, I spoke to a solicitor friend of mine. If they just sue you, all you'd have to do is dig up any interview that he's done in the last 10 years, and you just have to listen to the language, wouldn't you, and how they carry on, how they conduct themselves, and let the jury make their own mind up. So he's made a rod for his own back, really. There, Annie Tyson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, Bricktop's trying to say it's because he's bipolar. That's why he's coming out with these things. But
Bipolar. Listen, mate, everybody knows that's the them mental health stories and whatever. It's a load of old nonsense, absolute nonsense. If he were bipolar, I would board giving him a license. He wouldn't be allowed a boxing license if he were registered as bipolar. You do know that, don't you? Go and read the Green Book. So it's just pure fantasy island stuff, mate. It's in their head. Oh, I'm bipolar. Well, what medication you on? What was your doctor? It's in the heads, mate. In their
is
heads.
he? Is he licensed on a British license now?
Well,
Was
they
it
might not because they tell that many lies and there's been that many issues and they've had that
yeah.
much time out. You don't know if they're serving silent bans or not. The lot of them, none of them can lie straight in bed, like I said. But it is what it
I,
is.
I wasn't sure it was an Irish license or an American license he had for a while. But then was he not allowed, he wasn't allowed in America though for a while, was there not? Was there not some issue with that?
Yeah, I don't think he can go back there, can they, or something? But we're not really
Mm,
bothered now. They've got it in Saudi, haven't we? The
mm,
home of boxing, according to Bricktop. Crawl out, Turkey's ringer. You want rest of them out there. Right, what story will they invent now to get Fury back in the fans' good books? Because obviously the fans have turned on him now, haven't they? What
mm,
story are they going to invent now? We're going to have the deaths in family, or the house has been burgled, or he's stubbed his fucking toe. What
yeah.
knackers are they going to invent next? Come on.
He's probably going to have to come out and do a big charity job or something like that, with some positive media coverage. I would imagine
If I were
something.
advising him, Andy, do you know what I'd say? I say, why don't you just come out and say, do you know what? I couldn't beat that guy because I haven't trained properly. Why don't you just
Mm,
say that? Because everybody knows he's been just doing what he wants, turning up for training sessions when he wants, right? You can't go through your career like that. I know he only had 8 fights with Peter Fury, and Peter were in corner for 7 of them. He weren't for the Cunningham fight, but he were never dropped on Peter Fury's watch. We've been dropped 8 times altogether, right?
mm,
Now, if when he were in camp with Peter, I know it were pretty strict camps and all that, but I'm hearing that tails wagging dog kind of things, when they're in camp and nobody dares send out because they all want to be around the champ or the ex-champ, don't they? All want to pick up money, but these strength and condition people, the nutrition people, I don't think they're doing the job right. Look at the state of his body and look at the flab on him and how overweight he is. The scales don't lie. I told you the story, didn't I, about Mark Tibbs when he went out to Portugal, right, with his missus to see Dylan White, see how his training camp had been going on, and they came up to Mark Tibbs and they give Mark Tibbs spreadsheets. Oh, Mark says, "What you been doing then?" These people, is it that Xavier Miller and all them other arselicers, and started handing Mark Tibbs spreadsheets. Mark Tibbs just turned around straight away and says, "Forget your spreadsheets, get him on scales, and he'll have a weight." You see where I'm coming from? He said, "I don't want to
yeah,
hear about you've done spreadsheets and you've done some of them ladder runs and this and that. Just get on them scales, and I'll tell you if what's been going on." You see where I'm coming from? And that the scales don't lie. And Fury, the stone heavier than last fight. Now, did he put a stone on a muscle? Did he look like that? No. Flab. And it all goes to his back, doesn't it? Because he's probably
yeah,
been sat down all the time in pub. So cheating fans like Sonny Edwards, stronger, faster, quicker than a speeding bullet. And then after the fight, they're saying, "Well, I couldn't train. I've been smoking weed, been smoking this, been smoking that." Fury hadn't come out and said that like Sonny Edwards has, but these people cheat. The fans a bit like Liam Smith, really, in that Eubank fight. He wanted his first pay-per-view, didn't he? He knew he couldn't do the weight properly. He did it. He did it in end, but he was dead at the weight. They cheat the fans. That's what they're doing. They think, "Well, I'll get a trilogy if Eubank beats me." This is what we're
yeah.
up against in this sport, mate. Liars and vagabonds, charlatans. Off
Of
with
what,
their fucking heads.
of what you could see of his body, it looks soft, but you couldn't see a lot of it because the shorts were that high up. I heard somebody saying the Bricktop about that, and he was doing a rager again, shouting about the referee said they were all right and all this. I was
The
like,
referee's not the
Jesus
referee
Christ.
with a shithouse. They let him fight with that beard, didn't they? He
Yeah,
never did any. He never said anything about them shorts were way too high. You can't pull your shorts up to your tits. It's impossible. You can't get away with that.
he'd have been as well having braces on them, eh?
So what it is fitness that let him down, Andy, do you think?
I just think he's not good enough. And I mean, I think he's a great boxer, but he's not good enough to beat Usyk. He's just better, like you say, better in every department, isn't he? He's faster, he's got better footwork, he's sharper punching, he's more accurate punching, he's fitter, his endurance is incredible. The only thing Fury was beating him was size and weight and reach, but Usyk can negate all these things, can't he? So
Yeah. What would you give Fury mark out of 10 for the shape that he came in?
3 or 4 probably.
Yeah, so basically, Greg Marriott, this super strength and condition nutrition man, he basically doesn't know what he's doing then, does he?
But you keep seeing it's the same in the last fight. You keep seeing these pictures. I'm like, it's kind of tensed up. And that's like, what's that all about? That's not
They're
going
old
to win you
pictures.
a
Look,
fight.
they put old pictures up all the time, don't they? You know what I mean, don't you?
Yeah.
It's the oldest one in book. I've proved that many times in here. Like I said before, and I'll say it again, it's all mind games. Concentrate on getting fit and not your mind games, you puppets. So,
Plus, you'll never get through Usyk's mind anyway. It's like a safe. You
uh,
can't crack that safe because it's impenetrable.
I know. Uh, do we want to see Fury versus Joshua?
I'm not. I watch it, but just because it's a fight. But I'd rather see him take on somebody like Caballero or maybe Bacoli. But they might be a tough night for him. Eh?
Well, there's no belts on the line, and basically they've both been knocked about, haven't they now?
Hmm.
You know,
Who's the most damaged? Eh? That's the question. Isn't it?
well, I think Joshua's maybe most damaged, isn't he? He's gone missing, hasn't he, him?
Hmm.
So, well, like I said, there's no belts on line, Andy.
Nah,
What would they be fighting for? Money.
that'd be it. Eh? Like who and how much money they're going to get? That's the question as well. Eh? But
To rip the fans.
Turkey, Turkey wants to see it. The money will appear, won't it?
Turkey wants what?
If Turkey wants to see that fight, the money will be there.
If Turkey wants it, they'll do as they're told, won't they? That's the bottom line, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Can Dubois, aka John Coffey, can he beat Usyk in rematch if they fight?
Nah, maybe in 5 or 6 years, but not at the moment.
What did you think to John Coffey getting in ring at end? He forgot his lines, didn't he?
I think I referred to it myself as he's like Mr. Blobby in a china shop. You know, it's like, oh, it's just like a calamity, isn't it? And it's like some people are saying that's why Fury left the ring because he was about to get in.
Fury
He said,
left the ring, mate, because he was devastated.
yeah, he
He,
came back though, eh? And Bricktop must have called him back to look at the scorecards, eh?
listen, mate, it's just a natural reaction, isn't it? Dummy straight out. Because once you've got people hanging out the back of you constantly, telling you you're great, every single day you're like, oh, you're great, you're this, you're that, blah, de, blah, can I have a selfie, all that. It rubs off on you after a while, you know, and you think you're untouchable. And then once somebody says to you, no, the word no, or you don't get your own way, that's just a natural reaction. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Uh,
I thought Dubois was out of order saying he got robbed or something. Is that not what he said? He got robbed and I want my revenge. I got robbed or some rubbish like that. Eh?
no. If you watch that fight, watch where the punch lands from
In the bladder.
Usyk. It's not a low blow. Sorry, from Dubois. Sorry.
It's in the bladder, eh?
Yeah. So it is what it is, isn't it? But
Definitely low.
you what, mate?
Definitely a low blow.
Oh yeah, it were a low blow, but they're trying to make out it one, aren't they? The Dubois punch, but I thought it were.
Again,
Oh,
they need to just accept it and fucking stop going on about it. Eh? And
listen,
it's like this. Oh,
the best video, Andy, on that is the Hatman one.
he's tearing them a new one, isn't he?
Hatman's video on the low blow was fantastic. He's got photographs and everything. He's obviously a better tech guy than me. So as far as I'm concerned, it were a low blow, and I thought Usyk fucking. He didn't milk it because the referee told him he could have 5 minutes. He took 3.5 minutes, didn't he?
Told him to stay down, didn't he, the ref?
Yeah, what can you do? They've gone on to, if ref had said no, get up, Usyk could have fumbled his way through, wouldn't he?
Aye.
But, once they're going, oh, he lost momentum, this and that. No, I'm not having it. So it were a low blow.
Then Usyk knocked him out with a jab. So what's he got to say with that?
Exactly. Big stiff, John Coffey. Fury said he was going to ice Usyk. 10 days ago, he said that today. I'm going to ice him. But he didn't. It was his words that he said. But so who's at fault? Is Fury at fault that he didn't win? his fitness, his team, his trainer, advice, or is it the judge's fault, or was he just not good enough, Andy?
Just not good enough. I don't. I think I thought that in the first fight as well. I thought he's just not good enough to beat Usyk. He's lucky he didn't get stopped in the first fight. That was. I think he should have been stopped for his own safety in that first fight, especially when you heard him wishing everybody a happy new year after it. And that,
Yeah,
he's obviously taking some damage there.
yeah. Uh, is Big Meech retired? Yes or no?
I don't think so. I don't think so yet. I think you'll see him back. I think he probably should retire though.
Yeah.
He's made enough money.
Big shout out to Wayne Alexander, fan of the channel. Go on, Wayne. Pop, pop, bang. Should have won a world title. He was badly matched, in my opinion, in
He,
his career.
he was a big puncher, wasn't he?
Massive puncher, massive punch. Froch tells me he punches like a mule, but uh, should have had a world title, Wayne Alexander. I like him. Is Big Meech retired? Gone missing? What do you think?
I think he's gone missing, but I don't think he's retired as yet. But I think he's probably should think about it because he's made plenty of money and getting punched in the head's no good for you, is it? So
No.
he's only going to ship more punishment.
Certainly not. Dare Eddie Hills. Eddie Hills. 6-0 Iceman from Billy Ricky. 4 by way off, but we've got no footage, have we, Edward? Your dad's had a production company since 1980 and we ain't got no VHS videos of you fighting. You're his only son and heir. So where is the footage, Eddie Hills, you born liar? Eddie Hills gonna risk Big Meech with anybody other than the gypsy loser.
Has the goose been cooked? The golden goose.
Both of the gooses have been cooked, aren't they? They're just here to pick up the crumbs now, aren't they? Or the crusts, as they say.
That's it.
Do you think they're going to risk him with anybody other than Fury now? I don't see that, do you?
Nah. Nah, I think I made myself I made a top 10. I made a Christmas top 10 and I think I had Big Meech at number 8 or somewhere. I've got it written here somewhere because I thought everybody above that could beat him. I had Wardley at number 10, Hrgovic number 9, Big Meech number 8, Kabayel number 7, Bacoli number 6, Zhang number 5, Fury number 4, Parker number 3, Dubois in second position, and Usyk number 1.
Yeah. Nobody's queuing up to fight Bacoli, are they? And Caballel.
Kabayel.
I mean, why doesn't
Well,
Joshua want to fight Bacoli or Caballel?
I think Kabayel's fighting Zhang, isn't he, at some
Yeah, I
point?
know, but nobody seems to call him out though, do they?
No, no, never.
Is it
That's
because,
the two guys.
is it the
Two
cost,
guys. Sorry.
cost of the commercial?
See, I don't really buy into all this. They're no commercially viable. I just look at what they do inside the ring. At the end of the day, they're not going to be chat show hosts or anything like that, are they? So, personally, that's just my view. I think I like to see what they do inside the ring. If they perform inside the ring, that's how I rate them. But that's just my opinion. Nobody has to agree with that.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. It's
It's a bit like it doesn't bother me where people come from. Usyk's from Ukraine. Some people think, oh, you should get behind Fury because he's the British guy. And I'm like, I just see it as, I don't mind where they come from. I'm not going to back somebody just because they stay next door to me or anything like that. I want to see a fair fight with a fair result.
Did I tell you? I went by it actually today on M1. By Tib Shelf Services, there's it was foggy though, but I could just see it. He's laid on a settee in underpants and no else on, and it says Bosh underneath. Big John Candy from Essex. Elmer Fudd's dad.
Uncle Buck.
He's laid in a pair of underpants on a settee, and it says Bosh underneath it on one of them 60-foot by 10-foot billboards, like them ones I put up. And he's smack opposite Tip Shelf Services at M1. I'm looking over and I think, what planet are they on, these lot? Why have we got a journeyman boxer's fat dad in his underpants laid on a settee on a billboard opposite Tib Shelf Services on M1, heading back to Sheffield from M1. Why is that? Why is that?
No idea.
What is
What is
going
he
on?
advertising?
Somebody tell me what's going on. What is going on, mate?
What's he advertising?
Big John Candy there laid up the settee in his shreddies.
And his Y fronts. Maybe he's advertising Y fronts for Marks and
Black,
Spencer's, is he?
black shreddies he's wearing. He's got black underpants on, mate, and no else on the settee. And it says Bosch underneath. On my children's life, and my two dogs' life. I swear to God, can't believe it. I couldn't believe what I'm seeing.
I'm guessing it wasn't you who put that billboard up then.
Want me, mate? They would have got a fucking invoice if they did off me, like, let me tell you. Hey, it's a $2.5 what they've forked out there for that one.
What's he advertising?
I don't know. There's some other writing underneath, but because it were foggy, I couldn't make out it. But I keep saying I'm going to take a picture of it, but next time I will if it's clearer. But it's funny. I mean, you've got to give it. I mean, he's trying to copy me, innit, really? I started all that off, didn't I? You know me? I'm like a innovator, aren't I? All time. I mean, everybody's copying me, don't they? But,
way ahead of your time.
Yeah, big fat John Candy, you're a prick. End of. Get over it. Bigger tits than me. Simon Jordan. Does he really know he's boxing, this guy, or is he just trying to be everybody's pal, Andy?
Nah, I mean, I don't think I think he's a bit of an Usyk hater actually, because he keeps. It's like he's trying to find somebody to beat Usyk. Now he's back in Dubois to beat Usyk. He's a bit. I mean, there's times I've liked him and what he's taking a stand on certain things, but there's other times he comes out with stuff, and I'm like, oh no. I'm like, what's he on about?
I know. Not good, is it? We've covered John Coffey jumping into the ring, haven't we? What a full-time whopper he is, isn't he, him? Hey, what? Is he biggest whopper in boxing? Could you imagine being sat next to him on an airplane, him? John Coffey.
But he's gone from one extreme to the other. One minute he's not saying anything, and now he's I don't know.
He's trying, but for me, he's not engaging. Big stiff.
He's taking too many skittles, I think.
Yeah, well, that's what it is, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Teddy Atlas told it straight, didn't he? He just come out and said, look, we all know what we've just seen there. A masterclass, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So when
very technical fight, very technical fight. More technical than the first fight.
Yeah, but hey, listen, that's what Usyk wants. He wants them technical fights. I think when Fury were running out of ideas, he tried to switch southpaw a few times and he got clipped right away, didn't it? He's trying to be a southpaw and he can't even do it properly, really. Yeah, he can do it, but he can't do it for all fight. It's all right doing it against journeymen. Like when you get in there with a proper southpaw. If you're a right-handed fighter and you're trying to fight left-handed with the best guy in the business, you need to be on point and fit.
Yeah.
And if you're not fit and you're trying that late in game, in my opinion, he tried everything. Because you know what, boxers, they go through everything. When they're not getting their own way, they go through each scenario. And do you know when I've been told this off a guy who's trained world champions? And when they've run out of ideas, it's usually the last resort. That's the last resort. Why would you want to be a southpaw against the world's best southpaw when you're an orthodox? You see where I'm coming from? That's like playing Jimmy White at snooker, and he can pot all day long. He'll play flare shots all night. And if he's left-handed, so you're thinking, am I going to contain this guy? Because somebody like that, you have to contain them. Well, I'm going to play left-handed now then. Even if you can do it a little bit, you're not going to be able to do it against Jimmy White, are you? You see where I'm coming from?
Yeah. And I mean, I thought his defence was a wee bit, he had his hands up higher than I've ever seen them in the first bit of the fight. And I think you noticed about round 5, his hands started to drop. I thought he's starting to get tired a bit. And then the feet slowed down, and then Usyk was having more success picking him off. And then second half of the fight, he just ran away with it, didn't
he? Yeah. Do you want to go on to part 2, Andy?
Yeah, just give me 5 and it'll be
5 minutes, yeah?
Okay, mate.
20 past then, yeah?
Yeah, that's fine for me.
It's good.
Cheers.
Hot bang.
Bye.